Hey guys, it's your guy in the chair here, and look, this is my review for Unsung Hero, starring Joel Smallbone, Daisy Betts, Lucas Black, Candace Cameron Burr, and was directed by Joel Smallbone and Richard Ramsey. And our story basically follows a family who, after some, I'm going to call them life-changing events, not necessarily tragic, but life-changing events to the point where they had to move from Australia to the USA due to the family business kind of going through some turmoil. What happens is this family moves and they realize that they're in the music business and they don't necessarily have an artist to sign, they don't necessarily have anybody to promote, and they go through some really tough times trying to make ends meet here. And they realize that maybe through all of this trial and tribulation going on, that they have in their midst, and right in their family room, they have one of their daughters who has an amazing voice and could possibly be an artist and be one of the artists that they end up promoting, and that could actually end up saving the family. But through all of that, they realize that through God and through their faith and through truly trusting in one another and believing in their family and their values and believing in what God can do, they realize that they really could potentially do a lot more than they ever did before their business was non-successful. And I'm so sorry if that plot doesn't necessarily make sense, but it's the best way I can describe it. It is based off a true story. This is following Rebecca St. James. Her name is Rebecca. Well, her name was Rebecca Smallwood, but her artist name is Rebecca St. James. And basically, this follows the true story of her and her family and how they ended up, like I said, moving here from Australia, ended up winning a bunch of music awards for Christian music, and even now they have a group, which I am so sorry I completely missed, but they have a group. Two of their brothers ended up forming a group that are actually Christian artists now. And honestly, guys, this movie completely took me by surprise. I mean, like, I normally watch Christian movies strictly for the message. Like, I don't necessarily expect, like, if there are great performances and, you know, the movie's actually a lot more moving than I thought it was going to be, then I will always appreciate that as, like, kind of an added part of the movie. But truly, I don't necessarily ever expect, like, performances to be, like, not even Oscar worthy, just like I don't really expect them to be like top tier performances. Like sometimes Christian movies can have cringy performances, and I truly thought before this movie came on, like during the trailers, they showed a few Christian movie trailers that had some cringy acting, and I was like, I hope this isn't one of those, but I will be here for the message regardless. And not only is the message absolutely powerful, but the performances themselves make the message that much more powerful. I mean, the Joel Smallbone and Daisy Betts as David and Helen, the mom and dad in this movie, they were literally the entire heartbeat of the film. They were literally the entire heart of what this movie had to offer. It was truly spectacular to see these two actors truly giving their all to this story, and Joel Smallbone directed this, so that makes even more sense why he went so hard to make sure that the performances in this movie were very good and very moving, because truly wow, the performances truly had me in awe the entire film, especially from Helen. Daisy Betts, the woman that played Helen in the film, I thought the mother was one of the strongest parts of the movie, because for her, it was about a wife who truly just had to trust her husband in some unsettling, unsure times, and she had family continuously telling her, just move home, you don't have to be out there that long, like we will just buy you a ticket home, just give up, you know, you don't have to be out there. And you're watching a family truly go through some really strenuous times, and the mom and dad are trying to keep a sense, not necessarily a sense of reality around the kids, but they're trying to make sure that they don't reveal like everything that they're truly going through around the children themselves. So they just find ways to truly stay encouraging the kids through prayer and through faith and things like that. And honestly, one thing that I truly have to commend this movie for is, I don't necessarily know if childlike faith was their emphasis, like the main message of the film. I don't necessarily think it was, but there's something to be said about having childlike faith in this movie. The children in this movie, just the way they light up at different situations when the parents are clearly down about something, and the kid just comes in and like, why don't we just pray for it? Like, why don't we, like, we pray for everything else, why don't we just pray for this? Why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? And why don't we trust God with this and all this stuff? And it's like, it truly reminds you that at the end of the day, we are still, like, no matter how old we get, we are still children of God, and we should have childlike faith like that. Like, even if we truly don't believe whatever's in front of us is going to happen the way we want it to happen or think it should happen, we should pray regardless, because he can make a scenario way better than anything we can ever do on our own. He can make it 40 times, 50 times, 1,000 times better than we could ever imagine. And I loved this movie's emphasis on childlike faith. The children in this movie were absolutely tremendous. I loved it. I loved the trial itself that this family was going through. I loved how things were just continuously getting worse for them. They literally moved into a house with no furniture. They had basically to walk everywhere. They had no vehicle, and it was truly a testament to what people sometimes go through in life, and just how relying on God can truly get you out of any situation possible, man. It's really a tremendous story that's being told here. Beyond that, the Rebecca St. James part of the movie, where the young girl has an incredible voice, I love that part. I loved how they didn't necessarily rush that into the movie. They truly wanted to take their time with this story and show you the ins and out of just how much this family had to pray, how much this family had to fight, how much this family had to believe, and not only themselves, but believe in God. How much they truly had to believe in order for them to come out on the other side of this, because this is not an easy thing for anyone to do. I mean, the dad had so much. I love the dad's character because he had so much pride, and he had so much just basically, I mean, pride is basically the word. He had so much pride built up that he, like, watching other people do stuff for his family made him feel like less of a man, and seeing him have to humble himself and accept the help, it's incredible. Like, they truly blew me away with the character development. They truly blew me, and this is all based off a true story, so this is probably just what happened regardless, but the way they told this story and the way everything came together was something that I truly was just in awe of the entire time. I loved this movie. It was so good. It was so much better than I thought it was going to be. I was truly just going to be there for the message itself and just to watch this true story happen, but the performances really made this movie shine a lot brighter than I thought it would, and I truly loved every second of this movie. It's not a perfect movie, but it's definitely one where I enjoyed it a lot, and I love the performances from Lucas Black. Whoever played Jonathan Jackson, who played Eddie DeGarmo, he was great. I loved all the kids in this movie. They were so good. All of them delivered their lines perfectly. They were adorable. There were sometimes times where they delivered lines of as when they were basically in a state of they're not, like, unawareness, basically. Like, kids don't know how serious a scenario is, so they comment on something like, well, why don't you just pray? Like, and it's just like sometimes an adult would hear that and be like, what the heck did you just, like, what? Like, that, no, that doesn't make any sense. But I mean, in this case, it's what you had to, it's what you do. It's what you're supposed to do, and it's what we have to learn to do on a continuous basis. And I love this movie, man. It was truly something that I needed, a message that I needed in my life, to where even when you're going through the most ridiculous times, you lose everything, and you have no idea how you are going to come back from this, how you are going to build yourself back up. You just look to God, man, and He will provide everything you need, give you all your answers, and so much more. But look, overall, guys, Unsung Hero is a movie I believe that will truly, of course, fly under the radar, whether it be a Christian movie or not. I don't know, but it's going to fly under the radar regardless. Please see this movie if you can. Show this movie to as many people as you possibly can, because it's a message that I feel like a lot of people need. It's a message that is truly inspiring, truly motivating, and truly one that will keep us going through the darkest of times. And for all those reasons and so many more, guys, I'm going to give Unsung Hero a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, so Unsung Hero, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Look, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and so much more. Look, this is your guy in the chair. More content coming to you soon.